Ohayo! My name is Mitoku and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club Part 11. Now, last time we put together our new poem, but before we will get to the story, I have found something in this Steam Apps folder for Doki Doki Literature Club. And there is a thing here saying, "Can you hear me?" And it actually was added when I wasn't playing the game. So I don't know what it is, but let's have a look at it. So let me put it where you can see it here. There's a little devil inside all of us. Beneath their manufactured perception, their artificial reality is a writhing, twisted mess of dread, loathing, judgment, elitism, self-doubt, all rushing to escape the feeble hold of their host, sleeping through every little crevice they can find, into their willpower, starving them of all motivation and desire, into their stomach, forcing them to drown their guilt in comfort food, or into a newly opened gash in their skin, hidden only by the sleeves of a cute new shirt. Such a deplorable, tangled mass is already present in every single one of them. That's why I chose not to blame myself for their actions. All I did was untie the knot. First of all, who wrote this? And second of all, it's a really good description of what might be going on behind the scenes here. Also, hidden only by the sleeves of a cute new shirt. Wasn't Yuri hiding something? I hope it's not that, but I feel like it's that. So, this is just what I stumbled upon. But now, let's get going with the game. Why is everything tilted? By the way, I have no idea. Hi again, Minato. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Haha. Run away, yeah, why would I? I came back here. After, yeah, we let somebody hanging. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Those glitches start to scare me. Good gosh. I was describing this game as a dating sim with horror elements. Andrew corrected me in the comments and wrote something like, it's a horror game disguised as a dating simulator. Might be more fitting, probably. Thanks for keeping your promise, Minato. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Sorry, I don't know, everything is tilted is making me feel all weird and stuff. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Stop freaking scaring me! Also, I'm recording this at night. I will have a nice sleep after I'm done with recording this. Come on, he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Would you please stop covering the text box? No, Natsuki mainly have a big mouth. What? Does mainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps their manga collection in the club room? Wait, was Sayori supposed to say that? Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Nyeh. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Minato. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Pew! Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. And then, no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club, so if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, a vice president and all. That I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. Oh yeah, we already know this, probably? And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Weren't we reading the book together last time? Or does this come after? My memory's a bit jumbled, sorry about that. Okay, the tilt has ended, I guess. Nice. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for his chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Oh, she's looking for manga, right? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, it would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap, I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But it only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing it made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. So you weren't focused? But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. No. Definitely not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. Let it go. It's a beautiful song, but I don't like it because I was in Japan during that time when the film released, and everywhere else in the world it was released during winter, around Christmas, I think. But because every movie takes longer to get to get shown in the cinemas, it takes like about 3 to 5 months, because they have all the events scheduled and stuff and whatnot, because it's just a Japanese way to do. Like, you can't just start showing a movie. No, you have to get the actors in, you have to get a talk with them. Just the whole program. So usually they have to wait a few months. And by that time, it was around summer and 30 degrees outside. And then you hear that song. All day, every day, in every shop you go in. So, no, I don't like that song quite as much as others might like it. So, sorry about that. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about a religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. A horror book. So that's what you were recommending to us. Cool. But the facility gets even worse and they started selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... No spoilers! I'm okay. Please stop. Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Minato? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. Yep. Still waters are usually very deep. It's just that this kind of story is a kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway? Who put that there? Is that really what Yuri thinks? Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff. Damn, suddenly I'm rambling, aren't I? What was written there originally, I just wonder. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. I couldn't even read that. What did it say? Well, at least you can go back or pause the video. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. Yeah, I wanted to stop you right there. You know? In the middle of things. So I can, like, process things better. But no, we can't stop her. That's... I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. No, it's not true. It's a lie. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Stop it, please. I mean, you don't have to, but... What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry, it's not that I don't want you to. What is it then? It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. Oh, I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. Yeah, she is very shy, I guess. And maybe she has some other problems like, I don't know, social anxiety, maybe? I'm not quite sure. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Hi, Yuri! It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just bathing in what? I can't read that fast. Game. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry? I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Well, that's more on her desk than it is on ours. Also, where's our shoulder? Our shoulder is missing here. That's a weird perspective. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But I'm holding it like this. We're huddled even closer together than before. It's kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Oh, are you ready? Ready to turn the page, probably. Yeah, to turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. Yeah, kind of understandable. Alright, Mead, I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. That's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me, yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn a page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence, even so turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Like tennis, I guess. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. That face! That face is awesome. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not, no. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. That's mean, Minato. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. What else then? Something else? Never mind. We didn't get that far yet. Okay. Now I'm curious. Give me that book, please. So I don't know why that came into my mind. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? She puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I'm fine. Apollo Justice from the Ace Attorney series. He's just shouting, I'm fine, all the time. But I can't shout now because it's dark and stuff. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Bye. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Minato? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. Well, that's nice of you. But no, we didn't do anything to her. Except maybe sit beneath her and read a book and make her feel uncomfortable. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. She might have a panic attack, you know? Or something worse. Well, panic attacks aren't fun. I just had one today, so yeah. Those aren't fun. But she could be worse, like... she stops breathing or something, or has an allergy to something. I don't know. She might be dying, for Christ's sake. Alright, if you say so. Not to worry about anything. Good. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? What about Yuri? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. That's mean, Monica! That's mean! Why do you do that? Is that okay? I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Well, usually I just stick a note into the book or something like that. So let's continue with Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. Okay, yeah, that happened. It's probably only fair if I share mine with her first. Yeah? What's your opinion? Oh, well, that's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt, thanks. Well, excuse me, it's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? Oh, well, I pass, thank you. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you like it anyway. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. I think it's the same as before, right? Did something change? I'm not quite sure, actually. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it? What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Oh, well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Nice theme, Dan. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feelings in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. I didn't expect that from me, the youngest one here, did you? I guess not. And she also has a little tooth there. That's called, I guess those crooked teeth are called yaiba. And Japanese people find them cute. When when a tooth sticks out or when the teeth aren't aligned properly. I don't know why. I also don't know why the more western part of the world, well, mostly America and Europe, think that like nicely aligned teeth and white teeth are beautiful. Different tastes, different upbringing, different societies. I guess that's about it. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Good. And Monica. Hi there. Hi Minato. Having a good time so far? Yeah. I would have liked to share my poem with Yuri as well, but I learned something from Natsuki, so that's fine too. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening, you know? Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Yeah, that's usually my thing too. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Minato. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, I hope that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Minato. I was going, oh, in my head while I was reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go from something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. True that. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Yeah, so Yuri would have liked it, I would say. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. Could very well be with what we saw earlier, with that big text over this box. Could very well be. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. Yeah, so she probably gets overwhelmed easily. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up with withdrawing and looking for alone time. Yeah, that might also very well be or end up in a panic attack. Or the beginning of a panic attack. Monica, well, sometimes it's best to leave such people alone when they have panic attacks, but some people need other people near them. And sometimes they can't even communicate what's going on in their head. So, yeah, there's no universal receipt for treating those people. But I guess they figured out that it's best to leave her alone then. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. No, nothing. We didn't start sharing our poems and stuff. No. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. You're sorry for being late. You don't get angry at Monica for starting without you? Well, maybe you're inside you're angry, but all that comes out your mouth is I'm sorry. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright, thanks Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? Yep, fake it till you make it, I guess. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrambling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. What's that supposed to mean? And why hole in the wall? Was there a hole in the wall somewhere before? What do you have to say about this? So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Well, another video editor. I just had the chance to talk to him. He was like, yeah, he likes to show videos to random people before he finishes them, the rough edit, and asks them what they think of it and if they understand the message. And well, if they don't understand the message, then he will redo everything. And those people usually they have no knowledge about the topic that's present in the video or anything to do with videos or editing and that kind of stuff. So it's a good test to just ask an outsider, do you get the message? And probably everything. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. Some kind of epiphany. Okay. It's been influencing my poems a bit. So you're talking about the real world then? An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Yeah, true that. Just let your thoughts flow and write as much as you can. Then take a break or just change places, print it out, whatever, if you're writing on a PC, for example. Change places and then reread everything in one go and just edit everything in one go. Usually that's well, I kind of gotten that advice recently, so I haven't tried it yet, but I want to try it. Another way to think about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Yep, true that. Yuri, hey! Yuri, come here. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Nice that we can see her thoughts now. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but we did write some poems in the previous playthrough. Really? Oh, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. Are you just breaking down the fourth wall? She traces her fingers along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through them myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. Wait, so first you're telling me that this is exceptional and that I've written poems before, and now you just revert to the standard dialogue. Okay, style varied. Yep, I think we already know what she said. Form fit the two together. Okay. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering completely gone. Of course, it's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. Now we're getting advice for a newbie? What? Yeah, with practice, yeah, trying new things gives you valuable feedback. Thanks. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. Yeah, I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. If I read your poem, please do. I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it. So show it. Oh, it's that ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath my amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light. I have trouble to read this kind of scripture. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. A bath, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Okay. Did you read that before? I think she showed us a different one last time. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. I can, read it slowly? Thanks. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Yes, it did. Well, I just don't read script very often. Actually, I think your handwriting is pretty. Yes, it is pretty. But I'm not used to reading it. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Usually the story isn't about ghosts at all. Minato? Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings and experiences in their work. So you're afraid of the future, you live in the past, but you breathe the air of the present. So... something like that? Simple story, playing... yeah. Symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more soul than putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yes, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Minato. Me too. Phew, yeah. This video has been way longer than I thought it would get. So I guess I'll take a break here. Sometimes the notes are a little off and it just throws my whole mind off track. So where was I? Right, ending the video. Oh good gosh. So anyway, I make a cut here, a little pause. I need that after reading that thing and getting scared and stuff. I hope I can sleep this night. I hope you too. So thanks everybody so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay true to yourselves.